I know, boys. Yeah! Good on you, Thomas Burgess! Good on you, Tommy! South Sydney! Yes! Yes! Go! Yes! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! Go! Go! Yes! 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 Go! Yeah! Yeah! Good on you, Joy! Let's go, boys! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! South Sydney! Go! Go! Yes! Yes! Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Cody. I hope you guys are doing very well on this very fine afternoon. In today's video, we are going to be doing the rest of round 1 tipping for 2025. We had the Vegas games, the Jillaroos taking on the England women, and also the Super League clash between Wigan and Warrington. Successful weekend, although that women's scoreline, 90 points to 4. Ooh, don't know about that, but good on the Aussies for winning that one. And as for the NRL side of it, 2 good games, one bit of disappointment though, but close game between the Sharks and Panthers. Panthers winning 28-22, and Raiders putting a score on the Raiders, 30 points to on the Warriors, 30 points to 8. Entertaining week for Vegas, but now we are back in Australia for the remaining 6 games of round 1. Before we get into the video, guys, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video as well, and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss out when I post a new video. But anyways, guys, let's get through the remaining 6 games, and our first campaign kicks off on Thursday night. And our first game opening in Australia on Thursday night, the only clash on Thursday, kicking off at 8 p.m. New South Wales time, 7 p.m. Queensland time. We have 2023 runners-up, the Brisbane Broncos, taking on the third place finishers, the Sydney Roosters, who went out in the preliminary final last year, and the Broncos finishing in 12th in 2024 last year. Just like I said then, the Roosters finishing in the top 4 last year and going out in the preliminary final against the Storm. And then as for the Broncos, they finish outside the top 8 after a very, very shocking and disappointing 2024. After making it to the big dance in 2023, and then they choked the Penrith. But it is what it is. But this will be a great game to open up back in Australia. Now let's go through the team list for both teams. We'll go for the Roosters as they are the home team. At fullback and captain, we have James Tedesco. On the wing, we have Dominic Young and Dominic Young and Daniel Tupou. Rugby union player Mark Narquad, I'm not pronouncing that long name, and making his debut as well, Robert Toy are in the centres. Congratulations for making his debut. Sandon Smith and Chad Townsend, who came from the Cowboys, are in the halves. In the forward pack, we have Lindsay Collins, Nafua White, Connor Watson at prop and hookers, respectively. In the back row, we have Angus Crichton, Victor Radley, and Nat Butcher at lock. On the bench, we have Zach Docker-Clay, Sua Wong, Blake Steep, and Sasali Forkiti rounds up the bench. On the reserves, we have as 18th man, Hugo Salavala, Taylor Losalu, Ethan King, Junior Polgar, and Makashia Makatoa rounds up the reserves. For the Broncos, at fullback, we have Reece Walsh. And in the wings, we have Selwyn Cobbo and Jesse Arthurs. In the centres, we have Dean Mariner and Jeremiah Sherabaski. In the halves, pretty much the most experienced halves currently in the game, we have Ben Hunt at 5'8" and Adam Reynolds at halfback. Ben Hunt returning back up to where he started after the famous fumble back in 2015, the grand final. After the rest of his time, he was at the Dragons. Patrick Carrigan, Payne Haas are in the Corey Prax gets the starting hooker. Billy Walters, interesting. In the back row, Jack Garowski, John Ricky, Kobe Henrington round up the back row and lock. I think Carrigan's better at lock than Henrington, but it is what it is. On the bench, we have Billy Walters, Corey Jensen, Xavier Wilson, and Breton Piacora. And on the reserves, 18th man's Titans Smoothie, Deedleys Hota, Martin Tapau, Benjamin Key-Colra, and Jaden Hunt round up the Broncos 1 through 17 and 22. Now, the head-to-head between these two. This will be the 6th-year game played between each other, with the Broncos winning 32, the Roosters winning 27, and in the past 10 games between each other, Roosters have won 7 of the last 10, including winning 5 of the last 6 games, and winning the last 2. Last time Broncos won was in 2023 at the Gabba, where they won 32 points to 10, and the last time they won in Sydney against the Roosters was back in 2021, where they won 34 points to 16. So some interesting stuff there, and Roosters have got the upper hand in the most recent times. Roosters forward is also playing his 150th NRL appearance this Friday night, this Thursday night, so congrats to him. Roosters have won 5 of the last 6 against the Broncos, I just said. Broncos will be making their debut at the new Allianz Stadium, as they have not played at the new one since it opened in 2022. Now, for the tip, who do I got winning this one? Well, arguably, I'm going to go with the Broncos to win this one, despite it being the Roosters' home game. I reckon the Broncos are going to come out victors in this one. Broncos to win 13 plus, I reckon. So I reckon they're going to be put a scoreline on the Roosters. I mean, Roosters have lost a lot of experience. How can they top it up last year if they've got not a whole heap of experience in that squad? I mean, they've still got experience, but not enough. Broncos 13 plus to win by 16. Scoreline 30 points to 14. And first try scorer, we're going to go Reece Walsh. And anytime try scorer is 1 from each, we're going to go Dominic Young to score. And we'll go Cobbo to score. So Broncos to win 13 plus. Alright, now we move into our 2 Friday night games happening in round 1. First one kicking off at 6 p.m. from Campbelltown Sports Stadium. We have the three-peat wooden spooners currently, the West Tigers, taking on a team who's mainly in the top 8, finishing in 8th. And the last team to have to win 3 spoons in a row as well, funny enough, the Newcastle Knights, who are expected to have a very disappointing season in 2025. Alright, so now let's go through the squads for both of the teams, starting with the West Tigers first. At fullback, we have Heath Mason. Your wingers and Panthers Tigers, one of the newest recruits, Saruva Taruva. And Gerald Skelton are your wingers. Your centres are Adam Dewitt and Solomon Fatape. Your halves are Lachlan Galvin at 5'8", and pretty much the biggest signing of the year, or one of them, Jerome Luai at halfback, making his first appearance for the West Tigers, as he didn't play in either of the trial games. In the props, who came from the Roosters, Terrell May and Whanua Pole make up the props. Taylor Da Silva is the starting hooker. Unfortunately, Aparai Coruscant is injured. Samela Fanu, Alex Safer, and Alex Twal rounds up the back row and lock. Alex Twal getting started at lock. Wow. Tristan Hope, Royce Hunt, who came from the Sharks, Jack Bird, who came from the Dragons, and Simon Fanua rounds up the bench. And on the reserves, we have the other Fanua brother, Latu Fanua, Charlie Staines, Kit Lawley, Tony Skolkar, and Ruben Porter rounds up the Tigers 1 through 22. Now I'll go through the Knights side. At fullback, we have Kalen Ponga and captain. On the wings, we have James Schiller and Greg Marshew. In the centres, Dane Gagai, Bradman Best. In the halves, we've got Fletcher Sharp, and they actually got Jack Cogger playing. finally. But why Fletcher Sharp still? He's a fucking winger, not a half. And in the props, we have only one Saifidi brother, as he's gone to the Dolphins. Jacob Saifidi and Leo Thompson rounds up the props. Phoenix Crossland's the starting hooker. Dylan Lucas, Kai Pearce-Paul, and Tyson Frizzell round up the back row and bench. Back row and lock. On the bench, we have Jaden Brayley, Jack Hetherington, Brody Jones, and Matt Croker rounding up the bench. On the reserves, we have Thomas Camp, Real Price, Logan Oakey, Jackson Hastings, and Adam Elliott. And a few stats here for the game as well. Tigers have not won an opening round since 2020, so they're currently on a 4 game losing streak regarding round 1. Knights have also won 6 of the last 7 against the Newcastle Knights, which we're just going to get into right now. Now we get into the head-to-head between the two. They have played 38 games between each other. This will be the 39th game. The Knights winning 21 and the Tigers winning 17. And in the past 10 between the two, the Knights have dominated, just like I said, winning 8 of the last 10 and winning the last 6 games in a row. That is crazy. And that means the Tigers have not beaten the Knights since 2020, where they won... 2021, my apologies, where they won 24-20 against the Knights, and that was up at Suncorp for Magic Round. Now, who do we have winning this one? This one's a flip of a coin game, as the Knights are going to be expected to have a disappointing season, and Tigers just to avoid the wooden spoon. But granted, this is the Tigers' home game, so for this one, I'm going to go to take the risk. I'm going to take the Tigers in this one. In addition to Luai, Taruva, and Terrell May, I think it does make a difference. So I reckon Tigers to win 1-12 in a close game. Won't be a good game, obviously, but Tigers to win by 8. Scoreline go 22-14. And try scorers for both. For a first try scorer, I reckon the Knights will go over first. I reckon Kai Pearce-Paul will score first. And anytime try scorers, we'll go Dane Gagai. And we will go... Fuck it. Let's go to Terrell May to score for a try for the Tigers. That is very bold, but I think he can go over. So Tigers to win this one, 1-12. And now we move into the main event of the 2 Friday night games. Kicking off from 8 p.m. New South Wales time, 7 o'clock Queensland time. We have the team that almost made the top 8 in their second ever season, the Dolphins, taking on my boys, who unfortunately finished in second last place in 16th last year. Of course, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Wayne Bennett returns to the Rabbits. Tristan Wolfe is the new coach taking over the Dolphins. So pretty much it's the Wayne Bennett Cup, or first of 2 games between each other, as we'll be playing each other twice this year. And we'll be obviously taking place from 8 o'clock kickoff, New South Wales time, and 7 p.m. Queensland time. Let's go through the team list for both teams. Now, at fullback for the Dolphins, we have Haparai Hamasai Tapiai Fido, the Hummer. On the wings, we have Jermaine Osako and Junior Tupou. Jake Averillo and Herbie Farmworth in the centres. Cody Nikorima and Isaiah Katoa in the halves. Daniel Saifidi, who came from the Knights. And Felice Kafusi rounds up the props. Jeremy Marshall King's the starting hooker, who came from the Cowboys, this player. Kui Fuiaki and Max Plath are the back row. And the new captain for the Dolphins, which I finally announced it a week ago, Tom Gilbert is the new Dolphins captain and starting at lock. Kirk Donohue, Hugh Cornel Lemieux, Mark Nichols, and Ray Stone rounds up the Dolphins 1 through 17. And on the reserves, we have Kenny Bromwich, Josh Kerr, Sean O'Sullivan, Harrison Graham, and Max Feaguy. Now, for my boys, for our first team of 2025 season, at fullback, we have Jai Gray. On the wings, we have Isaiah Tass and Tyrone Munro. In the centres, we have Jack Whiten, and making his first official NRL appearance for the first time since the end of 2023, and missed a whole season last year due to a sternum injury, and returns from a hand injury as well. The stretch, known as Campbell Graham, finally returns to play his first NRL game in over a bloody year. Great to see him back. We need him. A huge boost. In the halves, also, we welcome back Cody Walker. He was expected not to play this game, but he made a quick injury, and he's also our captain for the time being. Or he'll be our captain going ahead, because obviously Cameron Murray is out with Achilles injury for the whole year. And halfback is Jamie Humphries. Lewis Dodd has been suspended for one game, and I hope Jamie Humphries is our starting 7 next week, because he was excellent in the trial game against the Dragons and also against Manly. Sean Kepi and David Malawi are at prop. Pina Mamazulis is at hooker. Keon Kolomatangi and Jai Arrow are in the back row. And making his NRL debut and Rabbitohs debut, Lachlan Hubner starting at lock. Jaden Sullivan, Xavier Havili returns from a head concussion injury. Talis Duncan, and we also welcome back another player who's been out for a long time with a foot injury. Davia Totola, or Junior Totola, returns after a lengthy injury with a foot injury. Great to have him back. And on the reserves, we have Len LeBlanc, Fletcher Myers, Jacob Hose, Thomas Fletcher, and Sally Atta. And that's both the squads for both of the teams. Now, this will only be the third game between us and the Dolphins. We have played one each year since Dolphins came in. It's been one game each. First up, we beat the Dolphins first in round 7, 2023, 36-14. And then the other time during the Origin period last year, we lost to the Dolphins in a high-scoring game, 36 points to 28 at KO Stadium. Now, and also some of the stats here as well, we have lost both our games at Suncorp in 2024. Herbie Farnworth makes his 100th NRL appearance. Cody Walker only requires one more try for 100 NRL tries, and the Hammer has scored 10 tries in his past 11 games, so he loves to score a try. Now, I have not mentioned the venue yet. That is because, and this came out in the Rabbitohs when the team list came out on the Rabbitohs on the website, not the NRL. The game has been moved from Suncorp down to Sydney due to Cyclone Alfred. It's about to hit the coast within the next couple of days, I think on Thursday, and the gusts up to 130 kilometres winds heading straight towards Brisbane. So I don't think anyone will be playing cyclonic conditions. They should not be doing that. Safety and well-being for the players comes first, but it's official. The game is going to be moved to CommBank Stadium. As I was originally going to fly up, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to fly up anymore, but we're going to be playing at CommBank instead. I think it's still a Dolphins game, and I think what should happen is for round 17, for our home game, we should go up to Suncorp instead of being out of the course game, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so the game has been moved forward to CommBank Stadium as it's been official from the Rabbitohs. I'm not sure if the Dolphins have said anything about it, but from the Rabbitohs side, we have confirmed it's at CommBank. So I'll be at CommBank for our first game and first NRL vlog of the year, Friday night. Anyways, guys, for this game, obviously I'm going to back my boys. I'm never gonna go against them like I did for a couple of years. But for this game, I reckon even though we've got Latrell out and Murray out for a long time, I think we've still got a talented squad. So Rabbitohs to win 1-12, to win by 8, scoreline 26-18. First try scorer, we're going to go, let's go Jai Arrow in his return game. And on any time try scorers, we'll go Jake Averillo and the Hammer. And a bold one here, Lachlan Hubner to score any time in his debut. So let's go, boys. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the game's in Sydney. So let's go, boys, no matter what. Rabbitohs to win 1-12. All right, now we move on to our 2 Saturday games. No 3 o'clock game for this round, but we have a 5:30 game with a bit of a rivalry game happening on the first game on Friday night, or Saturday night, rather. On Saturday, we have the St George Illawarra Dragons, who just missed out on missing the top 8 last year, finishing in 10 for 11th, playing against a team who made the finals for the first time in almost a decade, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. And this game is taking place at Australia Jubilee Stadium, Cogra, kicking off at 5:30 p.m. Now we'll go through the team list for both teams. For the Dragons first, Clint Gufferson is at fullback, Matthew Feagai and Christian Tupolatu, who returns from a hamstring injury, are on the wings. Moses Sully and Valentine Holmes are in the centres. Kyle Flanagan, Lachlan Ilias in the halves. Toby Couchman and Emma Gula in the props. Damien Cook is the hooker. Lecha Leilua and Jaden Sewer, a back row. Jack DeBellin is starting at lock. Jacob Little, Ryan Couchman, Raymond Fatala Mariner, and Hamish Stewart rounds up the bench. On the reserves, we have Dylan Egan, Tyrell Slade. So Slade's not playing this game, which is disappointing. Lauria King, Togi, and Loki Pacific Tonga, and Tom Hosniff rounds up the Dragons squad. Now for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs at fullback, we have Connor Tracy. Wings, we have Blake Wilson, and from the Warriors, and returning to Sydney, Monsea Montoya. And Bronson Sherry and Stephen Crichton are in the centres. Matt Burton and Toby Sexton are in the halves. Max King, Samuel Hughes in the props. Reid Marnie at starting hooker. Vial Mikikia, Jacob Preston at back row, and Kurt Mann at lock. Bailey Haywood, Steely Tupalua, Harry Hayes, and James Salmon rounds up the bench. On the reserves, we have Blake Taff, Curtis Moran, Daniel Saluka Fafita, Luke Smith, and Ratu Rinakama rounds up the Bulldogs squad. Now, the overall head-to-head between each other, these two teams have played each other for 46 games, and Bulldogs have won 29, Dragons 17. In the past 10 games between each other as well, the Bulldogs have dominated the Dragons. It has been 5 games apiece between each other. Sorry, 6 to the Bulldogs, 4 to the Dragons. No, sorry, it has been 5 games apiece. I'm really wrong. However, the Bulldogs have won 4 of the last 5 games against the Dragons. Dragons last winning in 2022 when they beat the Dogs 34 points to 24. And the Bulldogs the last time the Dragons beat the Bulldogs at Cogra was back in 2021, where they won 32 points to 12 against the Bulldogs. And Dragons 5'8" Kyle Flanagan makes his 100th NRL appearance. Bulldogs have had 1 win of their past 8 round 1 games as well. So that's so surprising. But what else is surprising as well, that Dragons have only won 2 of their past 6 games at Cogra as well. So not much. That's why WIN Stadium is the better stadium for the Dragons to play at than Cogra. Just saying. But anyways, who do I see winning this game? I'm going to go with the Bulldogs and win this one to win to win 1-12. Bulldogs to win by, let's go by 4. I reckon it's going to be a really good game between each other. And I don't think it'll be close to a sellout like obviously what had happened last year. We're going to go for the newest recruit from the Bulldogs. We'll go to Monsea Montoya to score the first try. Any-type try scorers, we'll go Vial Mikikia. And for Dragons, we're going to go Damien Cook. So another bold one there. Dragons to score, Cook to score against his former club, the Bulldogs, as he played at the Bulldogs before coming to the Rabbitohs. So doggies to win, 1-12. Now we move on to our final game of the Saturday games, kicking off at 7:35 from 4 Pines Park. Both teams making the top 8 for the first time in 1 and 2 years respectively. Manly finishing in 7th and the Cowboys finishing in 5th. We have the Manly taking on the Cowboys. We'll go through the Manly squad to start off with. At fullback, we have Tom Trbojevic. In the wings, we have Jason Saab and Lehigh Hopewade. In the centres, we have Tolo Kola and Ruben Garrick. Luke Brooks and Daly Cherry-Evans, the captain, are in the halves. This is also Daly Cherry-Evans' potential final year as well. Talana Paseka and Silasoa Takiyahu rounds up the props. Jazz Tavanga is the starting hooker. Homole Alokalade and Ben Trbojevic in the back row. Jake Trbojevic at lock. So all Trbojevic brothers playing in this game. On the bench, we have Jake Simpkin, Corey Waddell, Ethan Bullymore, and Tyler Sipley rounds up the bench. And on the reserves, we have Clayton Falongo, Dean Madison, Gordon Chen Kom Tong, Jake Arthur, and Josh Alioi rounds up the Manly side. Now for the Cowboys. Fullback, Scott Drinkwater. Wingers, Braden Burns and Murray Talangi. Jackson Purdy and Fiami Falia rounds up the centres. Thomas Dearden and Thomas Duffy. I think he's making his first grade debut, I believe, as well. So getting a spot over Clifford. Really nice. John McLean and Sam McIntyre are the starting props. Reece Robson's the hooker. John Bateman, who came from the Super League before he was at the Tigers. Jeremiah Nanai are the back row. Ruben Cotter is the starting lock. Cole Lawton, Harrison Edwards, Griffin Neat, and Cohen Hess. Cohen Hess returns from his that nasty ACL injury from last year. And on the reserves, we have Kyle O'Donnell, Jake Clifford, Thomas McKaylee, Jackson Paulo, and Jason Taumalolo. So it's a good chance he could be coming into this game after he's been recovered from a lucifranc injury, which is a foot injury. Now, this is where stuff gets interesting as well. Manly have won 5 of the past 7 games against the Cowboys, but Cowboys have won the last 2 games against Manly at 4 Pines Park. And another thing is, Cowboys have never won an opening round game in Sydney. In their 30-year plus history now, they have never won a game in round 1 in Sydney. That is absolutely nuts. And I thought everyone would have already done that, but I guess not. All right, the overall now. These two clubs have played 36 games between each other, Manly winning 21 and the Cowboys winning 15. In the past 10 between these two, Manly have won 6 of the last 10 games, which includes winning, like I just said, 5 of the last 7 games, which includes winning 4 in a row. And winning that epic game against the Cowboys up in Townsville last year, winning 21 points to 20. Although, Cowboys should have probably... Cowboys won 2 of the last 3 games, but Manly were just lucky to win that last game between each other. But like I said, Cowboys have won the last 2 at 4 Pines Park against Manly, which means Manly have not beaten the Cowboys at 4 Pines Park. They have not beaten them since 2018. Since 2021, Manly have not beaten the Cowboys there. Last time Manly won at 4 Pines Park against Cowboys, they won 50 points to 18. So that is my apologies. But also, the Cowboys have got the best opposition record than any other team versus Manly at 4 Pines Park, as in winning percentage. They've got 8 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. And the second team coming closest to that is actually the Titans, where they got 6 wins, 6 losses. So pretty much, the Cowboys have got the best winning percentage, positive, against Manly when it comes to 4 Pines Park, which is nuts. And that's pretty much their favourite second ground, I guess you can say. But for this game, this is the toughest game to pick between the remaining 6 games. But for this one, this one is really tough to pick. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. With their positive record they got, I'm just going to take the Cowboys. I reckon this will go to golden point, just like last year. But Cowboys winning this one. Cowboys winning by 2 points. We're going to go 18-16. Try scorers for both. First try scorer, we're going to go... Let's go Ruben Garrett to score first. So Manly score first. And anytime try scorers, Homole Olokalade and Jeremiah Nanai. And who kicks the winning field goal? Tom Dearden scores a 2-pointer from about 45 metres out straight into the post. So, massive bold call there, but I reckon it could happen. Cowboys to win, 1-12. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we finally move into our final game of round 1, and the game that finished it off. Kicking off at 4:05 p.m. in Amy Park in Melbourne. We have last year's runner-ups, last year's Mitre Premiers, the Melbourne Storm, taking on the team who finished in 15th place last year, narrowly avoiding the spoon in that spoon bowl game against the Tigers. We have the Storm taking on the Parramatta Eels, coming from Amy Park, kicking off at 4:05 p.m. All right, now let's go through the squads for both sides, starting off the Storm, of course. At fullback, we have Ryan Paffenhausen, William Warbrick, and Xavier Coates in the wings. Centers are Jack Howarth and Nick Meaney. Karen Munster, Jerome Hughes, the best halfback at the moment in the halves. Stefano Ukamanu makes his first appearance for the Storm, NRL season-wise. And Josh King are your props. Harry Grant's your starting hooker. Sean Bloor, Alex Katoa and Trent Liero rounds up your 1 through 13. On the bench, we have Tyrone Richard, Alec McDonald, Tui Catherine Kamifa, and Lazarus Velapii rounds up the 1 through 17. And on the reserves, Grant Anderson, Bronson Garlick, Joe Chant, Suluva Falungo, and Kane Brayley rounds up the top Storm squad. And on the Eels side of it, Isaiah Lungi is the fullback. On the wings, we have Sean Russell and Jake Tago, Will Pinacini, and making his first appearance for the Eels, Zach Lomax. Dylan Brown and Ronald Volkman are in the half, so no Moses is out from that soreness injury. Joe Offeringau and Junior Paulo in the props. Brendan Hands starting hooker. Jack Williams, Kelma Talungi, and Jermaine Hopgood are in the back row and lock. Riley Smith, Backdory, Ryan Madison, and Charlie Gourmet rounds up the 1 through 17. And on the reserves, we have Josiah Papali'i, Jordan Sambarimi, Tony Metallic, Sam Giulivatili, and Joey Lussick rounds up your Eels 1 through 22. And this is where it happens. And obviously, it's been the most tip game as well. Storm have won 22 consecutive round 1 games. So since 2003, I believe it is, when Bellamy took over, they have not lost a single round 1 game. Very impressive. The Eagles have conceded 142 points against the Storm in the past 4 games against them. And also, Storm winger Xavier Coates scored 29 tries in 27 games at Amy Park for the Storm. The head-to-head between these two have played 46 games against each other. Storm winning 28, Parramatta winning 18. One of the better sides that have a record against Storm, compared to us, obviously. In the past 10 games between each other as well, there has been 5 games apiece, funny enough. However, Storm have won the last 4 in a row, so Eels have not beaten the Storm since the last round of 2022, where they won 22 points to 14. But before then, Eels won 4 in a row between 2021 and 2022, which is crazy. And the last time the Eels had won at Amy Park was actually back in 2022, where they beat the Storm 28 points to 24, which is absolutely nuts. But the last time the Storm beat the Eels in Melbourne was was last year at Marvel Stadium, 46-16. But the last time the Storm beat the Eels at Amy Park was in 2019, where they won 32-0 in the finals against the Eels. So, and this is only the 3rd game between each other at Amy Park since 2019 as well. That's absolutely crazy. But for this game, you all know who I'm going to tip. Melbourne to win 13+. Melbourne to win by 18 scoreline. We'll go 32-14. Try scorers for both. We're going to go Xavier Coates to get the first try. Anytime try scores, we'll go Harry Grant. And for the Eels, we'll go Zach Lomax to score for any time. But anyways, guys, that's going to round up the round 1 NRL tips. I hope you guys enjoyed the second part of round 1 tipping video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here, and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss out when I post a video or whenever I go live on YouTube. Now, I have made a bit of a difference for this year as well. I will try to do at least 1 live stream per round, or 2 as well. 1 or 2 streams each round, depending on my availability where I'm going. Depends on when I'm going to Rabbits games or not. And like I said, the Rabbits game has officially been confirmed back to Combank in Sydney, and NRL just put it up on the website just a few minutes ago as well. So there you go. But anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for Friday night, as I will be doing my first NRL vlog of 2025, and I won't know which live stream I'll be doing yet. Well, I'll let you guys know. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. See you on the next one, and good luck to your team in round 1, except for the Roosters and the Dolphins. #Dolphins, fins down.